My favorite science story this week is about how kids seem to lack the ability to focus, but that's working out quite well for them. And maybe we grown-ups should leave them alone because for what they need, it actually is a better strategy. So here's where the science comes in. There are two experiments that researchers performed at the University of Toronto. In the first one, they played this game where you look at the slideshow, you watch, and a whole bunch of different images go by, a cat and then a truck and so on. And you see all these images go by. And after you finish watching that slideshow, you play this game where there's nothing on the screen, and then very slowly something starts to appear. And as quickly as possible, you have to name which of the images that you already saw is the one that's appearing. So you're like, oh, that's the giraffe. And then, you see how long it takes to get that score to get it correct. And that's how you play the game. Now, when they did that experiment with grown-ups and kids, grown-ups do better. Fine. Here's the second part of the experiment. In the second part, you have the same slideshow, same images going by. These are different people, by the way, that haven't seen the slides before. They're seeing the images, but they're told don't pay attention to the pictures because what's on top of them are these yellow shapes. And those yellow shapes are what we need you to pay attention to. I want you to notice if you've already seen this shape before or if it's always a new shape. If you see something you've seen before, hit a button. And so you're really focused on those shapes. And again, you have a score that emerges to show how well you did identifying all the shapes. Grown-ups do better on that one as well. They outperform the kids. But here's where the kids win. If you take that second group that you told don't focus on the pictures and you play the first game with them where you have something start to appear and you're like, okay, now which of the pictures are you seeing appear? Grown-ups are like, I don't know. You told me not to pay attention to the pictures. I didn't pay attention to the pictures. I have no idea. But kids are like, okay, let's do it. And the kids get it right. Kids recognize the pictures because even though you told those kids not to focus on the pictures, they looked at them anyway. In fact, the kids in the second group do just as well as the kids in the first group. Because when you tell kids to focus on one thing, they can't. They don't. That's not how their brains work. They focus on everything. And when you think about what a kid needs from their learning, it makes sense. As a grown-up, you've sort of figured out what's already important and you can filter out the things that don't matter and focus on what you need to know. But a kid in a classroom, like what is important? Is it the math that they're learning or is it the social dynamics among the kids in the room? Or is it the way the light comes in the window and how it lights up that wall and the aesthetic of that? All of it matters when you're a kid. And so kids' brains are built to take all of it in. The word that the researchers use when they talk about this work is sponge. Kids are like sponges. They're taking it all in. So next time you're working with a kid, like me working with my kids, and you're frustrated because they don't focus, cut them some slack. Maybe that's exactly the way they should be approaching it. Anyway, that's my favorite science story this week. If you like this story or you'd like to learn about other stories, please subscribe to The Bat Signal. Just go to followthebatsignal.com.